Hey up, fellas. On screen is widely considered by many, including myself, to be top 1 in For Honor. In both duels and in fours, Pyra is an uncontestably strong force. Definitely strong. I don't think anyone is saying that this character is going to be needing buffs anytime soon, at the very least, even if you don't agree that she's top 1. But today I'm going to be explaining why I believe her to be top 1, and I feel like it's... obviously, it's an opinion, it's not objective truth, but I think it's pretty dumb to not say that she is pretty much just best in the game at everything that you can imagine. This isn't without some shortcomings. She does actually have 1 or 2 weaknesses, but really they are nothing to think about when you think of all of the things that this character can do better than every other character in the game, all at the same time in the same kit. During the reveal for this character, the devs said that she was a jack of all trades, master of none. It sort of appears that she's a master of everything, jack of none. There's really not much that this character can't do. So I'm just gonna start off. It should also be noted as well. I'm bronze 4 apparently, but I'm also only rep 3. I don't play this character very fucking often. So if there is tech that I'm missing, stuff like that, absolutely blast me away with all the kinds of bullshit that this character has once you have properly mastered the character. There is some knowledge required, not very fucking much, to get infinite use out of them, but there is technically a ceiling that's fairly high up, but the floor is through the floor. The floor is really low in the Earth's core. So I'm going to start off, as I always do, with punishment. Her light parry punishment is 25, with mixes after, do whatever you want, and her GB punishment is all of her heavies do the same damage, so there's no wall splat or anything for more damage, anything like that. She just does 25, which is slightly low. You know, Tiandi and Yorm, who I've already covered, those do 27 light parry, so it's 2 damage more. But where this character differs is the heavy parry punishment. So Yorm and Tiandi both have 12 damage lights, but this character has 15 damage from her zone, similar to Tiandi's, and she has every move available on these. Because every move in this character's kit is DRCable. They wanted to experiment, I guess. So she has every option from her heavy parry and her light parry. You get infinite mixes after, no questions asked. And there is some stamina to this. It's always a light option if you want. A low stamina cost option. So I'm going to start off with the cons first. Normally I'd start off with the pros and then I'd go to the cons, but I feel like for Pyra it's more fitting to start off with what's not so good, and stuff to maybe keep in mind when I'm going over the pro section and stuff that you do kind of have to think about. Especially seeing as there are so many pros, I like to finish off with the section that's the biggest. So I had a lot to talk about with Tiandi, a lot to talk about with Yorm. This character have a lot to talk about the good stuff, and not so much the bad stuff. So I'm going to start off with the bad stuff, and I'm going to cheer you up in a bit. So the cons, her stamina costs can be quite high. If you look at the key moves like Walk the Plank, that does take some stamina to do. It's nothing like Yorm's, but this so kind of a lot. Her chain stuff, and going through like a flow chart of offense and really getting to it, and that was some damage, but that's all my stamina, and that's not killing the opponent. Mainly because some of her damage numbers are quite low. Not all of them. She has some absurd numbers hidden in there, but a fair amount of her damage numbers are relatively low, compared to sane characters. So yeah, no, fair enough. There's no hit confirming the bash, but there is hit confirming Walk the Plank. And what do I mean by Walk the Plank? I mean basically her version of the skewer. On hit, you want to be doing gunshot, unless the opponent's back is to a wall. I'll get to that. But basically, you want to be doing this gunshot. It's 32 damage, which is a lot, and every option, again, every move is DRCable. It's gunshot. Everything is DRCable. And on whiff, you want to be doing a dodge attack of some description, because even the unblockable itself, even on hit or whiff, without the gunshot, is DRCable. So you need to learn how to hit confirm that if you want that move to be as safe as it could be. This move also has infinite range, so yeah. I'll get to every move in her kit and how broken every single one of her moves is, but for now, because her kit is genuinely strong in every single aspect, it does take some knowledge and some experience to know what move is actually the best for a current situation. You know, think of Lei from Tekken or something. Big move list, and you have to overwhelm your opponent, and it's kind of difficult to remember. This is the exact string I need to use right now to get the most out of this, right? This situation I'm in. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult, nowhere near as fucking hard as Lei, but sometimes it is a bit of a difficulty knowing what move you should do. You are just spoilt for choice. And that's everything that's bad. And one of them is really an upside in disguise. It's just a blessing in fool's coating, or whatever the fuck that saying is. There's really not much wrong with this character at all. They are very much perfect. And I'm going to start off with their best move, as I normally do, in the pros section. And their best move, by the way, their entire kit consists of like other characters' best moves all mishmashed into one character. So if my thing would stop scrolling down, there we go. This is going to be her best move, her best #1 move, at least in my opinion. So she has this bash. Now remember what I said, everything is DRCable. That includes the bash. Okay, so she can't do it from neutral, there's no neutral bash, but it's on hit or whiff of any heavy move excluding walk the plank and her zone. So her zone is a heavy, but she can chain into anything she wants, but she can't chain into the bash if it's blocked or something, so if we just okay, the AI is just not playing ball apparently. I asked it to block after the first attack. I don't know what's going on there, but oh well. So she can't do this chain bash from her zone, but trust me, she doesn't have to. So off of any heavy move, you get this bash. This does 14 damage. There is no hit confirm necessary. There's no follow-up move after. No, nothing. This just does 14 damage straight up if you land the bash. It's basically got what's that one? Haymaker for free. So not only does it have Haymaker, but it also has loads of range. A lot of range. Like, not even that, like, absurd range, to the point where even the animation is misleading on how, like, far the range is. I don't think it's going to catch them at this fucking range I'm trying to do it at here, but you can see how close it's getting. It's a good move, to say the least. Again, this is DRCable, meaning it's completely unpunishable. I don't care. It's unpunishable. There is no move that can punish this move. Oh wait, Tiandi is a character. Yeah, no, never mind. It is punishable for 10 damage, which is less damage than what you get hit for anyway. So yeah, risk reward, everybody. So this is a completely unpunishable move. You can throw this out whenever you want, and you will never be punished for it. Versus 90% of the cast. Not only that, but if they do guess right, they're in a different kind of lane, because you can do every single move in her entire kit, as well as DRC the move. So if they do a dodge attack, it's okay. You have the best dodge attack in the game to dodge around the dodge attack. Or you can just armor through. You can do your chain heavies, which have Raider's hyper armor. Or you can do anything else, depending on what the opponent does. You have an option for every situation. Not only that, but if the opponent is not ready, they take 1,000,000 damage. A 32 damage unblockable, and all of that. The AI, for some reason, really likes to get stuck on this map, and I don't know what it is. There we go. I don't know what's going on. Actually, no, it's pirates specifically. They just get, like, stuck in the walls. It's super weird. Not only does it have all of this, but it also has lateral tracking for some reason. So, if you dodge, sometimes it'll just track you like 90 degrees for some fucking reason. And because it's slightly slower than the average bash, it just, for some reason, has all the tracking in the world, and the timing is super strange. Not only all of this, but it's also unreactable to the majority of people. So, yeah. And she has undodgeable lights as well. These chains no, she doesn't, but it doesn't really matter. She can wait and GB, or she can do that for an undodgeable option instead, because it's that fast that you can probably catch dodge attacks with it. So yeah, that's her bash. Already an exceptionally over-dimensioned move with no risk and very high reward. On hit or whiff, it's completely safe, does damage, and leads to 32 damage unblockable mixes. Yeah, no, to say the least, this move on any character would make them overpowered as fuck. And it's on Pyro. And now to her second best move, a 19 damage, unblockable, hyper armor, armor breaking, long range, feintable, soft feintable to GB, Nature's Wrath, with armor breaking extension included, with mixes after, and DRC safety on hit or whiff. This move is a bit much. So this does 19 damage, which is not very much for Nature's Wrath, but it's unblockable. That's rare for a roll catch. Not only that, but it's also feintable. And it's quite spammable, in fact. If Warden was running in a straight line away from me, this is actually faster because of the tracking. The tracking engages itself before the move is even being thrown out, before the feint window. So yeah. Not only that, but it's also soft feintable to GB. That is really lightning fast, like you have no idea. Sometimes I've even gone to block top because I see the indicator is at the top, and then my thumb is on the right stick and I'm not able to go and counter guard break in time. I'm not joking. It's very rare that happens. I have to be really half asleep for that one. But it's a thing. It's just how fast that move comes out. And in neutral, if you're having a bit of a stare down and you don't know any whip tech or anything, it's just a really bright flash of orange and then you just guard broken. So, yeah, no, this character has no trouble making the opponent react to things. Not only that, but remember what I said about Yom's Nature's Wrath having hyper armor as it hits? That's what this has as well. Hyper armor as it hits. On whiff, this is also DRCable into itself. So even if you whiff the move, no risk at all. No GB, no nothing. And on hit, you get this extra pistol blast. I should note, every time you see the pistol shoot, it armor breaks. This is classed as a, weird pseudo-bash, so this all breaks armor. If Shigoki is doing a charged heavy at you, and on reaction to this, I'm not joking, you take no damage. So every time you see the pistol blast, right, you gotta remember, that breaks armor. So any move that you may be thinking, oh, but if I play Raider, I can just do my chain options and it'll be fine. Nope. This is one of the only characters in the game with, really strong armor breaks. The other ones being, Conqueror and stuff like that have some armor breaking setups. This character has a plethora of them. As well as, obviously, her chain dash is obviously an armor break. Stuff like that. So, yeah, no, her Nature's Wrath is also completely over-dimensioned and stupid. You know what I said earlier about her normal chain heavies having Raider's hyper armor? Yeah, the same timing. Look at how fast she flashes white. Look at how fast she flashes white. Instantly. Instantly. And this is available for every move, basically. She has these chain heavies. These are basically chain finishers, but she can DRC the move, so it doesn't matter. And by the way, they hit kind of hard. These actually hit for a grand total of 27. 27. That's a Tiandi top heavy, and Tiandi's top heavy doesn't armor break. And if he DRCs it, he has no unblockable he can go into, and his armored option is a lot worse. And he also has some iffy dodge attacks. Clean segue, bro. Yeah, no, her dodge attack. It's the strongest in the game. This is a 15 damage heavy dodge attack, so already pretty high damage for a dodge attack. It armor breaks. Okay. It's DRCable, even by itself. So this option selects charge bash mix-ups similar to Tiandi's dodge attack. But this one has all of the upsides and none of the downsides. Remember in my Tiandi video I mentioned, if the opponent does a level 1 bash and lets it fly, you don't punish it with your dodge heavy, because it's too slow. Higher it punishes level 1 bashes. And I also said, if you read level 3 and you do a dodge heavy on level 3 dodge timing, you don't get a punish. This character does. This also applies to any character who has variable timing, so Shigoki's heavies. Oh no, I hit his hyper armor, doesn't matter. Raider. Oh no, I hit his hyper armor, okay, doesn't matter. I hit his hyper armor. Cool. My turn now. You know, after this, I gain any option I want, including this 32 damage or 25 damage. GB is off-faintable. Unblockable. Really, really balanced, I promise. So yeah, the strongest dodge attack in the game. Not only that, but it's also exceptionally good at whiff tech, because it's got this really wide hitbox. It really fucking throws her entire weight in this big swing. It's got like 360 degrees of fucking movement. This has a really wide hitbox, and it can hit people dodging at basically every fucking time. And it also has quite a lot of range, really. As you can see, it's not short range. And if it whiffs, there's no risk to this at all. If it whiffs, you get her bash, which has infinite range, or you get a DRC to it again, so you can just dodge any whiff punishment options, anything like that. There's absolutely no risk to this move whatsoever. And again, this is all a heavy parry. A heavy parry, which means all of this utility and all of just how broken this is takes lights as punishment. Again, this character is a bit strong, to say the least. You know, she's basically just better Kensei. She has a stronger dodge attack in basically every way. It's pretty much objectively better. And, you know, you want to talk about Kensei and, you know, the brain-dead low level of things. You gotta start talking about undodgeable lights. Yep, chain lights are undodgeable. Thank fuck they aren't enhanced on block, but these fucking things, let me fucking tell you. So, you know how lights typically on hit, finisher lights, are minus on hit, and that's to let the opponent have their turn back by you doing a sometimes unreactable move that can come from one of 3 directions. So, no. Again, every move in her kit is DRCable. So, yeah, no, these undodgeable lights, remember, undodgeable lights, so there's no way to option select these. You have to pick a direction and block. These undodgeable lights build momentum on hit. Let me tell you, Yorm wants that. Yorm wants that right now. She can DRC this. Not only that, she can DRC this backwards. So she can gain distance, anything. To say the least, even at my level of play, I can't react to lights. I'm on 30 FPS, as you can probably tell by the 720p video. I'm on PS4. So this shit is super frustrating. She gains access to these undodgeable lights basically anytime she can access one of her heavies, which is nigh on all the time. Even there. And again, these are all undodgeable, and you're so frightened of this bash. You're so frightened of this bash constantly, and you have to constantly keep in mind of where she is in her offense. And you've got to think, Can she do the light now? No. Yes. Okay, right. And you've got like a weird defensive flowchart in your mind, and if you guess wrong, which you will basically every single time, you eat a billion damage, and she just goes back into the situation again. And the moment it's your turn, she has the strongest defensive options in the game, nigh on objectively. So you can't do damage to her, and she's allowed to spam you out with random bullshit. Absolutely ridiculous. And so next off we have her zone in neutral. So you remember what I said about it's because it can't go into her chain punch. This is 15 damage, a heavy parry, and it's DRCable really early on, and it's got good range and good lateral tracking. Again, this big swing. It's reactable to an extent, so don't throw this out too often, but this move is exceptionally good for just gaining distance. Also, should mention a backlight back dodge, similar to Tiandi's, is super strong. But whereas he has fake offense, this character genuinely has like some of the scariest whiff deck ever designed. Mainly because of the threat of these unblockables and stuff like that. I actually just ran out of stamina, that's mad. Again, if you don't know where to feint, her stamina costs can be relatively high. And her damage relatively low. So she can't kill you in one touch, like in one turn, like Raider can. But realistically, that's not a downside. Believe me, she has everything else. Do not feel sorry for her. So yeah, no, this zone is applies pressure on block or on whiff or on hit. This character basically is just the definition of safe on whiff. Like, if you've ever played Mortal Kombat Advance, where moves have literally no recovery frames, and by literally I mean it literally, they will not programmed with recovery frames in mind. That's basically Pirate. There's no recovery frames whatsoever, because she just dodges, and you have to deal with more bullshit. She just never ends. Whether you dodge something, or whether you block it, or whether you parry it, she can probably fucking DRC the parry animation. She can just do everything she damn well wants. And it's remarkably frustrating, to say the least. So, lastly, I have to mention her Walk the Plank. Walk the Plank is an absurd move, to say the least. You know, realistically, I'd say that this is probably the second strongest move in her kit, and that's not a very, you know, like, there's a lot of contenders for that. It's not easy to give that out, but yeah, no. So this, in the open, does 32 damage. I've put Warden to a wall here, because when the opponent hits the wall with it, they take 49. 49. For guessing wrong once on an unblockable that, you know, again, can be soft-faced into GB and can also be DRC'd. So even if they dodge or dodge attack to, you know, negate the mix, it doesn't matter. You can dodge their dodge attack option, or you can just armor through it. Anything you want to do. So yeah, no, basically, if your back is to a wall, which, by the way, this character with this can actually has wall carry. It's well, it's a weird thing, but they kind of do. If your back is to a wall, Walk the Plank becomes like the strongest 50-50 in the game. Oh, by the way, yeah, so it's a looping mix-up on hit as well. That's great. That's absolutely brilliant. I have heard that she has a 70 damage punish, but I don't know where this is from. Even out of stamina, she doesn't get a 70 damage punish. She gets the most I've found is and then into a 50-50, which is 47. I don't know where this 70 comes from, but I have heard that she apparently has a 70 damage punish somewhere. But take that with a pinch of salt. I don't know where that is. So that's basically it. Maybe I haven't stated enough how strong these moves are, but if you just go through the video, right, and again, you compare it to the worst offenders in the game, like Yorm, right, or even Tianbi, who isn't even bottom tier, and you compare the options that these characters have, you'll very quickly realize that Pirate has access to some really, 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 really strong shit. It's not just strong, it's overpowered. So this is a little bit of a rant section, but you know, this is less objective now. This is the response to the character, and mainly the Bash and Orochi. I'm sure I've said this before, and if you know me on any platform, I've mentioned this a million times, but really, the community really needs to sort their shit out with tolerance to things, because Orochi had a 16 damage, which is 2 more damage than this character's, DRCable Bash. The damage was nothing to do with it. It was the fact that it was DRCable, and it was available from neutral as well, so it was very strong. Don't get me wrong. But that was called the most broken move in For Honor history by basically everybody, including myself. That was retardedly strong. So they rightly removed it from Orochi because it was too strong. It was broken, it was very unfun, and it doesn't matter that it required a hit confirm in order to be safe. It was too strong. So the next character that comes out after Orochi's rework, they add a DRCable Bash to the character, and not only that, the DRCable Bash doesn't have an undodgeable light off of it, or an unblockable 50-50. It has a heavy parry dodge attack from it that breaks armor, and an unblockable 50-50. And it has more range, more lateral tracking, and this character has every single move in the fucking game to work with almost no risk attached to any of it. Whereas Orochi had some risk attached to some of his stuff. Making 2 reads in order to get damage in this game is not fair whatsoever. And Pirate has the most egregious example in this game's entire history of a character that has this. You have to make 2 reads in order for you to do any damage. This isn't dodge attack punishable. This isn't punishable by, like, any character other than Tiandi. And he's like a freak case that's able to punish anything. He has a specific tool to punish this move. That is it. If you don't play Tiandi, her Bash alone is the only move she requires, and she can beat any character in the game. And again, this comes with a package of her Walk the Plank, which is a 49 damage at the wall, fucking unblockable that leads into more mixes on hit, and all of this. And on whiff, you still don't get a punish. There's no countering this character if she knows what she's doing. You can't dodge ever, and I really do mean ever. With Orochi, dodging sometimes was okay, but with this character, no. Never, ever dodge, which is a problem because dodging is a core mechanic of the game that you need. Dodging is a safer way to get out of pressure, but it tends to be a bit riskier. This character gets rid of the safe option selecty part of the dodge and keeps it risky. It makes no sense whatsoever. And by risky, I mean if your name is like Orochi, a dodge attack is risky because it's a light parry. If your character has a heavy dodge attack, they might perform a bit stronger against Pirate, but it's barely a thing. This character essentially has so many polarizing 9-1 matchups that it's just unbelievable. She doesn't have the best matchup in the game. I still think that's Jiang Jun versus Yorm, just because of how awfully those two characters interact with each other. But this character has... Think of it like Mortal Kombat 9, right? So Kenshi had... If you just added up all the numbers, right, all of the matchups, Kenshi had the best matchups. The only character he lost to was Cabal, and Cabal didn't lose to a single character. That's basically Pirate. Pirate doesn't lose to a single character, but JJ has some... Basically the only character JJ really loses to is Pirate, so there's that. And then there's other things like Kyoshin. Kyoshin only really loses to Pirate, not really anyone else, so there's that. What was the community's reaction to this character? She's fine. She's balanced. She's alright. Just learn what she does. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. She has quite clearly, as I've displayed in this video, a very, very, very overpowered moveset. And I mean, this is completely subjective now. If this is what every character's going to be in the future, this fucking mindless, mashing, numbness, fucking insane mad character, the big one, with no restriction other than their green bar under their health, I don't want to fucking play the game. I won't lie to you. That is so boring to me. It's unbelievable. Every character with all that safety, I already don't like the safety of pretty much every other character. The game is already too safe, making everyone this horrible abomination of a kit. I don't want. So yeah, that was Pirate. It got very heated at the end, and you know, I mean no offense if you mean this character. Your character is brain dead, not you. Okay, like I just want to clear that up. Don't get too personal. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and ta-ra.